worth eating, and some of them don't taste nice, and all of that. So the focus really should be on the 25 good edibles and avoiding the 250 poisonous ones. So far this year we're finding that, you know, like everything else, the seasons have changed and mushrooms are coming out earlier, and we're finding some of the mushrooms that we normally wouldn't see till end of September, early October, we're now seeing at end of August. And to a certain extent the season is earlier, and it seems to, I don't know if it ends earlier, possibly it doesn't end earlier, but it's certainly starting earlier. So things like chanterelles and ceps, we may have seen the main flush of those already. Normally it would just be starting at this time of year, but in the last 3 years it's certainly changed. But conditions today are great. Last week was a bit dry. We did a mushroom hunt in Avondale, and you know the leaves were dry on the ground and rustling, but there's been a good bit of rain during the week, so I think we should do well today. What we'll try and do is I'll give you an idea now. I'll go through some of the edibles in line with your handout, and we'll try and pick anything that looks like an edible. If we start off with the easiest of all, I suppose, which is that one in the middle, the cep, the penny bun. That's a bolete. I don't know if we have any in our basket. We have an old messed up one here. Yeah, it's not very clear on that. It's a bit old, but the boletes are identifiable because they have a sponge underneath the cap. So anything that you see that's porous with sponge underneath the cap is likely to be a bolete. And if it is a bolete, it's almost certainly a good eater. So keep an eye open for those, and they're usually quite big. The best of the boletes is the cep, and that's the one that we have the picture of there. On the left of that is the chanterelle. There's two types of chanterelle. This is the yellow leg chanterelle, and I'd expect we will find some of those today. The other chanterelle is more of a trumpet shaped, and it's an even brighter yellower colour, and it has a smell of apricots from it. And you'll usually find it in mossy areas, but also you'll find it under ferns as well, you know, where there's clear ground. Obviously you see there's grass in all those ferns. There may be some in there, but it would be too difficult to find them. On the right then on the top you've got bluets. The distinctive factor in a bluet, and again it's an easy one to identify, is when you turn it over. You see the colour of the gills? They're a kind of lilac colour. So if you turn it over, it kind of from the top they're a browny ochre colour. If you turn it over, you see this lilac colour. That's almost definitely a bluet.
What's Daddy doing?
That's that truffle dog, is it?
Yeah, he's just getting geared up.
The other. Oh yeah, these are the chanterelles.
Yellow leg.
These are the yellow leg chanterelles. Right. The other one I'll go to is the hedgehog, because we've got hedgehogs here. Now we should find some of these. These are nice and tasty. And again, they're a good one for beginners because you've got this kind of spiky stubble under the cap. So that's how you can identify them. You can see the colour, but if you see that spikiness underneath, pick those. They're likely to be hedgehogs. The other one is honey fungus. Honey fungus. We have some here. You'll probably find lots of honey fungus. It's not a great eater. There's two honey fungus, and you can see that they usually grow in bunches, and they're quite good to eat. Except I know that some people don't react well to them, so I'm a little bit nervous about them.
By trees.
They're by trees. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, when you're looking for these mushrooms, the best trees that you'll find them around are deciduous trees. So, you know, we've lots of beech and birch and oaks and that around here. Puffballs then on the bottom. Most puffballs, in fact all puffballs really, are good to eat. Once they start puffing, they're no good. You want to get them young and firm. That one on the right, by the way, who made that comment about the young and firm? I might have known. On the right at the bottom, you have what is actually an earth ball, and that's not an edible. So it shouldn't be on the edible side, but it's actually an earth ball. But anything that looks like a puff ball, bring it back. Now let's go to the let's go to the interesting stuff, the poisonous stuff on the back. Just to give you an idea of how poisonous some of these mushrooms are, this death cap here is a it was a death cap, destroying a death cap. It has several very strong toxins in it. If you get it into your system, there's no way of getting it out, and your organs cannot process it. So ultimately, your initial reaction will be to be violently sick, vomiting, diarrhea. That will be followed by a kind of a remission phase, and then you'll be in a remission phase for a while, and then the sickness returns and you die shortly thereafter. And that's it. Ultimately, it's
You won't be at the next
if you eat this, it's the chances of you dying are very high. By the way, did I tell you that technically this is the most dangerous activity in Europe? I mean, it's way more people die from picking and eating wild mushrooms than they do from, so-called macho sports like hang gliding and skydiving and all of that. So welcome, brave.